Hello and welcome to Progressive Short Takes. Joe Firestone is my name. I'm your host. And in this short take, I want to talk about reconsidering the ABC Act. That act was introduced by Rashida Tlaib into the House and then was co-sponsored by Pramila Jayapal, so that it's now the Jayapal Tlaib Act. What that act, was about is that it proposed the grants of $2,000 per month to each individual in the United States, each adult individual in the United States, for as long as the coronavirus crisis lasts, and $1,000 per month for each child in the United States for as long as the coronavirus actually lasts. It also proposed $1,000 a month for each individual for 1 year after the coronavirus healthcare crisis is over, to give people time to recover, and $500 for each child. So, as long as the healthcare crisis goes on with respect to the coronavirus, we would be talking for a family of four support of $6,000 per month, which would be a basic income for that particular period. And once the healthcare crisis was over, for 1 year thereafter, we would be talking $3,000 a month for a family of four for income support. Now, this was all to be funded through the use of $1 trillion platinum coins. It was costed out, I believe, at roughly $2.2 trillion or something like that in cost. I forget what the figure was. It was certainly a multi-trillion-dollar program. But it was going to provide the necessary income support to get us through the economic devastation that was caused by the crisis. Now, why do I want to reconsider that? In other words, the act was introduced and then promptly forgotten by Nancy Pelosi. And it's certainly been forgotten by most of the Democratic Party. And it certainly was not featured at the recent convention of the Democratic Party. And Joe Biden has never mentioned it. And Chuck Schumer, has never mentioned it. But since then, since the CARES Act was passed, and since this bill was originally introduced, we have learned that some 40% of small businesses have gone out of business permanently due to the impact of the crisis. So when the healthcare crisis ends, and even before it ends, people have no jobs to go back to. Many of those small businesses, which paid them a living, are not there anymore. While I personally favor a job guarantee program over a basic income program, and while I would certainly favor that for the long pull, for the short run, We need to get something in place now that would involve an immediate disbursement of funds. The ABC Act also provided for people to be able to go to banks and to get to be connected to the funding program through basically tokens that could be periodically filled electronically with funds from the federal government so people could get their monthly stipends. So the economy could be kept going all through this time. With 40% of the small businesses gone, I think this is now more essential than ever. Of course, it never got into the HEROES Act because the HEROES Act wasn't really any kind of HEROES Act. In fact, in significant part, it was actually a bailout for lobbying organizations, which I think most of us would be far from considering the heroes of coping with this particular crisis. And it also had a number of other faults. It had some good features too, but it had nothing like the ABC Act as part of it. The HEROES Act needs to be augmented with the ABC Act. And we need to push on that, push really, really hard on it, because it is what people need. People need relief right now. And if a deal is going to be made with the Republicans on it, the most important thing is to get people the funds they need for the next few months so they can avoid eviction, so they can avoid food crises, so they can avoid the crises involved in paying for health, since there doesn't seem to be an appetite in Congress to pass a Medicare for All bill, at least for the duration of the crisis. So we need to get people what they need. We need to do it quickly. The ABC Act was a way of getting this to people quickly. It's perfectly practical. It's perfectly viable. The Democrats need to get behind it. Joe Biden needs to get behind it, call for it. Nancy Pelosi needs to get behind it, and call for it. The Republicans need to be hit over the head every day with it, as well as with their disaster in the COVID-19 crisis. They need to be hit over the head with something that most people can see will be of benefit to them, of great benefit to them. There is also Jayapal's Payroll Guarantee Act, which was basically a nationalization of payroll with the federal government supporting payroll. I like that one too. But I think for now, the most important one is the ABC Act, getting money into people's hands quickly before they all go under. So to my mind, that's an emergency act. We ought to have that emergency quickly. So before I go, I'm going to share once again my promo here with my Patreon account, patreon.com/Joe_Firestone. If you liked this progressive short takes and the rest of my work, the in-depth program, please do contribute at patreon.com/Joe Firestone. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave it here now, and I'll see you with a new progressive short take shortly.